I was waiting for this request to come in one day. I knew one day this request would come in. And I will admit, first off, shout out, thank you to Aaron for the request, the paid request. For anyone that wants to request any type of movie review, re-review, topic, tier list, ranking, randomness, thoughts, streams, commentaries. You want me throw out requests to torture me and make me mad? I appreciate it, because that means you guys must be entertained by this shit somehow, some way, some form. And I appreciate the generosity and the patience and the paid request. Thank you. Thank you to Aaron. Fuck you to Victor Salva. I will admit, though, there was a full minute I kind of sat there and looked at this and said, maybe I should refund this guy. But then I said no, because I knew sooner or later I had to rip this off like a band-aid. I had to get this out of my basement. Better do it now, and then I never have to talk about it again. I never had to watch this fucking movie again. Clownhouse from 1989. If I did the summation of the plot, it's actually a pretty simple film. You have three boys, played by Nathan Forrest Winters, Bryan McHugh, and Sam Rockwell. Yes, the same Sam Rockwell that would be in the 1990 Ninja Turtles film, in the very good sci-fi movie Moon, Galaxy Quest, that awful Poltergeist remake, and more. They played three brothers. The parents are away. They have the house to themselves. At one point they go to the circus. The youngest brother, Nathan Forrest Winters, who's our lead, he's afraid of clowns. Meanwhile, these three mental patients escape from the asylum. They kill some of the clowns at the circus, wear their makeup and clothes, and ultimately by the third act they are stalking and then eventually chasing the kids in the house, hence Clownhouse. Pretty simple premise. The behind the scenes, not so much. Now, this is a film by this point I had never watched. I kind of told myself I would never watch this film because of the circumstances. Thankfully, this had a DVD, but it got out of print pretty quick. I believe it was from MGM. At one point, Stream Factory, Shout Factory were thinking of releasing this on Blu-ray, but they made the right decision to not. Granted, they did Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, which those are more popular films, made them more money than this. I don't know. But they didn't. This will never get another physical release, which I'm glad for, because it doesn't deserve it. I gotta talk about the behind the scenes. I know I will eventually talk about the film, but the behind the scenes stuff is just honestly more important. So I'm 4 minutes in. Be wary, there's going to be some shit to be said. Victor Salva did this short film, which also had Nathan Forrest Winters and Bryan McHugh in it. The same two boys who'd be the stars of this film. Francis Ford Coppola liked that short film. For some reason, had a hankering for pankering on Victor Salva. To the point that he gave money to Victor to finance this film. Let Victor shoot at Coppola's mansion, house, and help get this released. during the making of this film, Victor Salva sexually molested the 2 lead kids. I know those are awful words to say, but that's the truth. And it's horrible. And it's not a he said, she said, as Limp Bizkit would say, the he said, she said bullshit. There's evidence because it was filmed. Victor Salva doing these things, he filmed it. That's as much 100% evidence. This is not like the Michael Jackson, which I don't think he did it. Some people disagree with me. To me, there's never been any hardcore actual evidence on Michael Jackson. So to me, that's different. This, it's filmed. It was filmed. They went to his place. They found the stuff there. And pictures and photos and all that stuff. And then the movie wasn't 100% finished. They had to do dubbing. The kid, I guess, contractual obligation, had to go in and finish the dub. And the way he told it, Francis Ford Coppola was mad at him for letting the story get out and said, you will never work in movies ever again. Being blackballed. The one kid, Bryan McHugh, he disappeared. He could be working, I don't know, at a zoo, at a Walmart, at a Papa John's. I don't know. If he ever somehow sees this, I hope you're doing okay. Nathan Forrest Winters, you'll never see this video, but I hope you're doing okay. I think he's done interviews since, but I hope you two are doing okay. Just what happened to you, I don't know either of them. We'll never meet them. But what happened to them was total fucking horseshit and total fucking bullshit. What's even more BS is that Victor Salva got a 3-year sentence and served 15 months. Wesley Snipes did more for tax evasion. Said it before, say it again. The justice system has been fucked forever. Cue the Sandlot. Forever. If you mess with taxes like Wesley Snipes, you get more jail time than a guy, 100% evidence, that did stuff to at least 2 kids. Who knows if there was more? I don't know, but at least those 2. I haven't heard he did anything to Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell will never talk about this film. I think someone actually tried to ask him in a Q&A when they did that Poltergeist remake. He dodged the question. Actually, down below, I'm going to put a link to my buddies at Dead Pit. They talked about this in their series Tragedies in Tinseltown. Aaron, if you're watching, go in the info box, watch their video. They did a very good job on it. So, Victor Salva only does 15 months. That is not justice. At all. Don't give me this he did his time squat. No, he didn't. Victor says he was beaten up in jail. You know what? I highly doubt it. Because Nathan Forrest Winters said he didn't really go to jail. He went to... Might as well be a place where he's able to play fucking tennis. So him getting beaten up, Victor Salva probably lied about that. If you're a guy that did this to kids, and you're a guy that feels no remorse for it, but I'm supposed to buy that you don't lie? Oh, you do these awful things, but no, you can't be lying. What the fuck? So there's a lot of things to say about Victor Salva. I've said in the past, I've said in the future, and I'm saying it now. I despise Victor Salva as a person and a human being for what he did to these kids. He should still be in jail, and he never should have been allowed to work again in any of the film business. Again, I think he should still be in jail. Forever. And if you're someone that does that to kids, I really do feel like you should be in jail forever. I do not think there's rehabilitation for people who do that. I don't. 100% believe there is no rehabilitation. If you're someone that wants to think of kids in that way, that format, that fashion, there is no rehab for you. There's none. Jail is your rehab. You go to jail, you stay there forever. Away from kids, away from the public. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The only butt you'll be seeing is you in the shower, hiding from being cornholed from other prisoners. That's it. And then Francis Ford Coppola, he's the reason why he got the sentence. I guarantee you that's why he got such a light sentence. Because, the guy did The Godfather. Apocalypse Now. I don't give a fuck if he created the earth. What he did was bullshit. And Coppola, I despise him too. I was never that big of a fan of his movies anyway, but I despise him as a human being. You stuck up for Victor Salva. You blackballed and threatened a kid who did nothing wrong. Oh, don't chastise and point the finger at the adult, but no, you go do it at the kid. When the adult did a despicable, horrible thing, which there is no way to deny it because it was filmed, and there's no way to explain it. It is unexplainable. It's horrendous. And then later, Francis Ford Coppola worked with this guy again. Because who do you think produced the Jeepers Creepers films? Francis Ford Coppola. Released under his American Zoetrope studio. As well as, was it MGM? But American Zoetrope was part of it. Part of it because Francis Ford Coppola produced it. At least Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. How is it that this guy continued to get work? He did the film Nature of the Beast with Lance Henriksen, and you just say, well, why did some of these actors work with him? You gotta understand that I think some of the early days, without the internet, some of the stuff would be buried, hidden, shushed up. I'm sure if he's working with kids, but at the same time, when he goes like Jeepers Creepers 2, these are kids supposed to be teenage high schoolers, and no one aren't you supposed to say admit that you're this and that, you're an offender, you're registered before you're hired? Before apparently not, but it's Hollywood, so why should I be surprised? How? Because it's Hollywood. I would like to think people like Lance Henriksen did not know anything about Victor Salva because he worked with him twice, Nature of the Beast and Powder. Same with Jeff Goldblum. I would have to assume these guys did not know about this. Maybe that's me being naive, but I'll be naive on that part. Because I like Lance Henriksen, I like Jeff Goldblum. Again, at that time, the internet wasn't around. I guarantee you Victor's not going to be telling them what happened. Clownhouse is a forgotten film that got under the radar even when it came out. I'm sure Francis Ford Coppola got a bunch of his money to bury this story as much as he could. Then the irony, one day Victor gets hired by Disney to do that film Powder. Oh, this be about being persecuted. And then Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, don't get me started on that. Oh, here's a movie where a bunch of guys are shirtless on top of a school bus. Because that always happened to every damn school bus trip I was at a school. They all get on top of the school bus and sunbathe next to each other. Or they go out and piss next to each other where they're 2 centimeters next to each other. Yeah, that's how it goes. Hey, you 3 guys going over there? I'm going to join a piss with you. We have this whole open wide space, so let me stand next to you and you at the piss together. What the Oh, Jeepers Creepers 1. Hey, he's called the Creeper and stole Justin Long's underwear to sniff it. Because that is something that happened in the movie. Because they say, oh, he was going through your clothes and sniffing your underwear. Victor Salva puts this stuff... In this movie especially, you see that stuff. Which is sickening. And this film's on YouTube. And Victor Salva continued, even got the Jeepers Creepers 3. There are directors who've done nothing wrong and have made better films. Michael Davis, who I think is who did Shoot 'Em Up, never got to. I don't think he ever got to work again. There are directors who have done a good job, but they've only done one film. But this guy continued to get work as he was butt buddies with Francis Ford Coppola. I'd rather be Count Chocula. So, as for the film itself, the beginning is the lead kid having a nightmare, walking around shirtless. He's like 14 years old or so. Has a nightmare, pisses his pants. Then he takes his pants off in the bed. His immediate older brother, I'll say their real names because I forgot their character names. Nathan's the lead, Bryan is the second lead, and then Sam Rockwell. So Bryan looks in at Nathan, and you see he's trying to help his brother out. Nathan gets up, you see his bare ass, and Sam Rockwell even says, oh, you sleeping bare ass now? Hey Mom, he pissed his pants again. And then there's Nathan, like Bryan's walking around, and he's probably the same age, 14, 13, and he's in tighty whities. Then you see Nathan tight. So I'm seeing these kids tighty whities or bare ass, shirtless. Pisses me off. And if you take out, okay, let's say Victor Salva never did anything wrong, you have the same film. I would still think this was a weird-ass way to open the film with shirtless little boys and the bare ass and tidy white. I still think this would be weird and just not right to do. The dialogue isn't that good. There's a bit where they go, oh, there's trouble at the nut house. Then someone goes, where the crazy people live. No, you think so? Is that what the nut house is? I thought it was where they made the nuts, the peanuts and the cashews and the fucking almonds. I thought that's what he meant when he said the nut house. Is it where the crazy people live? There's trouble at the nut house. Where the crazy people live. Oh, I thought it was just the boring people live. Or the dirty people, the dirty white boys. So, Sam Rockwell, he's the oldest brother. He's just a dick the entire time. A complete asshole dickhead with no redeeming features. And then Nathan and Bryan, with all due respect, they're not the best. But I'm not going to hold it against them, because if this stuff was going on during the making of the film, do you really think they're going to care about, did to character and as a, you know what I mean? Like, they have a lot more issues going on that, who's to say this was the best they could do acting wise? If they had a decent person directing the film, then perhaps they could have done better. So I'm not going to give I'm going to give Nathan and Bryan the benefit of the doubt, where if they had, not a fucking PDF file as a damn director to vet them, then they probably could have done a better job. But they go to the circus, they see this fortune teller, which I thought was a guy, but I guess was a girl. And the dialogue, like, oh, I'm seeing your line, it's still small. And then Sam Rockwell's like his pecker. I mean, yeah, of course Victor Salva will write that line, because that's what he thought about, and still thinks about. He's not cured. Then in watching the clowns, a clown grabs the kid, and the kid's scared and trying to pull away, but this clown keeps pulling back. I'm sitting there going, okay, in reality, that's a lawsuit. You'd be arrested, because now you're assaulting someone. You're trying to forcibly pull a kid, and he doesn't want to. Imagine anything nowadays. You grab a kid and you're trying to force him up, and he's holding back. You're fired, or you're getting sued, or you're getting punched in the face. All the above. Like that, what was that family at Toontown? Look up Fight in Toontown or whatever. This family in I think Disneyland. It's a hell of a thing. So the show's over, and the three clowns, they're taking their stuff off. They get killed. And you don't really see any gore. So the acting isn't that great. You don't really see much gore. It is a fairly slow burn, with not a whole lot of happening other than Sam Rockwell being a dick to the other two brothers, the one lead, Nathan, being scared of clowns, and the Bryan kind of trying to be like a mediator between it all. And it's a lot of that until you get to the third act, where now there's no power. Sam Rockwell, he goes to the attic, he sees some paint, he pretends to be a clown because he's going to scare his younger brother. But the clowns, the three crazy people in clown makeup, they've been stalking and stalking and stalking, watching. One of them grabs Sam Rockwell, pulls him through the window, and then he disappears until the other two kids find him in a closet. I don't know if he's dead or alive. I still don't know if Sam Rockwell's character died or lived. Because the one kid says, I think he's dead. But then they're pulling him as if they're pulling him to safety. Like trying to hide him. But I'm like, okay, is he dead or is he not dead? Granny's such a dick of a character, I don't care whichever one it is. Oh, there's one thing that happens in between, is that there's a bit where Sam Rockwell and Nathan, they need to get to the store. Sam wants Nathan to run. He doesn't want to at first, but then he runs, and two of the clowns are chasing him, but he doesn't realize it yet. Now, if I'm being fair, people say I'm not fair. There are moments in this film that I do think capture a mood, an atmosphere, and creepy. I can see that if you're a kid and you did not know a thing about the backstory, and you're a kid, you're watching this, I just see this being creepy. I mean, a kid running and these two psychos are running after him. He doesn't notice, and you're wondering, okay, is he going to notice now? Is he going to notice then? Is he ever going to notice? Okay, that's a decent bit of suspense. In the third act, when they're around the house, and the clowns are poking their heads in, and the makeup is creepy. When the chase begins, and the camera's going through the house, and you see its point of view, and you see this mood and atmosphere, and then the two kids fighting back. Including the kid who's afraid of clowns, but he fights back to protect his nicer brother, Bryan. I'm like, okay, cool, he's afraid of clowns, but he's going to help his brother regardless. Okay, that's a good character trait, good character moment. There is some good mood and atmosphere and creep factor. But as a whole, I mean, the first half feels like it just takes too long to get to what we're doing the second half. The acting isn't that great. It does have a creepy, low-key musical score. I'm sure cleaned up the visuals of the mood, atmosphere of the house, especially when there's no power. They definitely create a sense of claustrophobia and mood and atmosphere. And again, the directorial credits due, that is accomplished, and especially in the third act. I'll give credit to that. But the third act, I'm kind of getting into the film as a film. Spoilers. There's three, again, bad guys. One gets hit in the head and pushed down the stairs. One, the two brothers push out the window and Psycho falls to his death. One, Bryan's trying to pull Sam Rockwell, who's unconscious or dead, I don't know which. And the last clown knocks him out, chases the lead kid, the lead hides, accidentally steps on this squeaky toy, which is a clown that he won at the circus, ironically enough. Just chase some more, gets choked, and Bryan hits the clown with an axe. Now again, this is not a bloody gore movie. You don't really see any blood or gore in the film. Even the act is more just the reaction. The two brothers hug, then the movie's over. So it is a short film, 80-some minutes long. There are some scenes of palpable suspense in the third act. And in the scene where the kid's being chased by the clowns, but he doesn't realize it. And the third act in the house, the cat and mouse bits. I don't think the dialogue is that good or impressive. I think that the acting by the kids aren't that great. Again, the two leads I would give benefit of the doubt. Sam Rockwell, I don't know. Sam's a good actor, but he just made to be a dick. Again, with like no redeeming values. Almost to a like comically bad sense. But the music is low-key and moody and creepy. With the way the clowns look, there's a creepy aspect. If this was a film that that the backstory, all of it never happened, I would go, okay, this was a one-time watch. The third act was the best part of the movie, but I don't know if I ever rewatch it because I think it takes too long to get to the good stuff, and the dialogue, the acting, it just there's other films I could watch. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, that came out around the same time, I liked a lot more. There's films of '89. Like Deep Star 6, Leviathan, there's other movies that just be more my cup of tea. But I would go, okay, there's, it's time waster with some good, again, effective mood, atmosphere, like I've repeated multiple times. But with the backstory known, I felt uneasy watching the film, and not for his intended purposes, but because of the way he would film the kids from the very beginning. Older creeping on younger kids, just like he did in real life. It's like a sick power fantasy that Victor Salva was trying to showcase in his movie that he had continued to do. Jeepers Creepers. Oh, I'm going to make the creature called the Creepy. People say, well, it's based on the Unsolved Mysteries. Still, it's a guy they named the Creeper. That at the end of the first Jeepers Creepers wanted the guy and to eat him after stiffing his underwear and shit throughout the film. The sequel, even more so. Winked at guys, licked in the window. Let me look at all these. And no one's willing to, like, talk about it. That's the thing. Like, no one, like, Justin Long, Lance Henriksen, all those kids that worked on Jeepers Creepers 2. How about any of you come out and talk about, did you know at the time what happened when you found out? Because we don't want to talk about it. Because you're right, it is fucking unsettling. But it happened. We have eyes. The God will do something in this case. We have, like, it's there. Like Sam Rockwell, instead of dodging the question, be brave and be honest. I did this film called Clownhouse. Didn't know what was going on with Victor Salva. It was my first big break in the film. Found out what was happening. Felt bad, felt sick. Because I didn't realize what was going on. You know, these guys were playing my brothers, and I felt useless. Because I didn't help out. I didn't find out. Didn't stop it. Victor Salva treated me well, but at the same time it doesn't matter because what he did is horrendous and it's horrible, and either I haven't talked to the Nathan and Bryan in a while or never. Just be honest. If that was the case, I just now I'm giving Sam Rockwell the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. Dodging the question is just... When talking about it could potentially help someone that's going through things, but they're like, wow, well, this guy was able to speak up and speak out. Maybe I can too. I think that's more of a responsibility you have. Especially in the world of Hollywood, where you've seen that more and more of this stuff happened. Gary Goddard, the director of Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren, he's a PDF file. And yes, I know I'm saying it that way because YouTube don't like me using the actual word. But yeah, the director of Masters of the Universe, which I guarantee you someone like Dolph Lundgren didn't know because it was the 80s. I don't even know if the guy was even doing it at that point. He's probably doing it, I don't know, later, well after that film. But Gary Goddard, all the stuff we've heard about Bryan Singer, all the people on Quiet on Set. And you know what's ironic? The next film I'm going to review is The Willies, directed by another PDF file, Brian Peck. So two for such a great double feature. It's not their fault. I mean, you know, it's paid request, and one didn't know the other. But it's like the universe put upon me his two films, Clownhouse and The Willies, Victor Salva and Brian Peck. Yeah, the guy was Scuzz in Return of the Living Dead. What's next? What was that fucking film that Dominic Braja made? That slasher film? Which I still haven't seen. I forgot what the hell it was called now. What was it called? Evil Laugh or something? I haven't seen that movie. Maybe that'll be the next request I get. I guess. Get out of the basement, I don't know. But, so yeah, Gary Goddard, Bryan Singer, Brian Peck, that worked on Nickelodeon shows, Quiet on Set, that documentary that came out, what happened to Drake, of Drake and Josh. Brian Peck went to jail and then got out, or wherever the hell he went to, if it was jail. And still got work. He's got buddies, and hey, come do this, work for Disney or whatever, or wherever the hell it was. But you'll do voice work, or whatever the fuck he did. That's one of the reasons, well, I'll get to that stuff, but this is one of the reasons I don't watch that Return of the Living Dead documentary. Just who narrates it? Brian Peck. So, as a movie unto itself, I appreciate that it's short. Nathan and Bryan, again, I give those two kids the benefit of the doubt with their performances. I would think they did the best they could considering the circumstances they're going through. And you definitely feel the fear of Nathan. Maybe some chunk of that was real. So that was definitely believable on the lead Nathan's part. Nathan and Bryan, I think they did what they could. It being 80 minutes, so it's, again, not over long. Again, some atmosphere, some mood, some lighting, especially in the house. It definitely gives a creepy, pervasive nature. But then I'm thinking, well, how much of that was the movie and how much of that was because of when you know what happened, it just has this unease from the get-go. And yeah, this film should never be released on any physical media in the future. Doesn't deserve it. Just then you would have to give Victor Salva money. You'd have to pay him, and he don't deserve it. He didn't deserve to get this movie made. He didn't deserve to get Jeepers Creepers and all these other films made and get that money. So yeah, I'm kind of done with this review. Because I feel... I'm not exaggerating, I do feel a bit sick now. We'll see you guys later. Again, there's a lot of things I could say about Victor Salva. I could say a lot of curse words. But maybe that would get lost into my sincere seriousness on this. Victor Salva, to me, is not a human being. He's just garbage. Flat out garbage. So, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.